on, ladies and gentlemen? What's cracking? We live on 702.5 FM, the Main Event Podcast. Are we live then? Let's do it live. Instagram live style. We live? Hold on now. You tuned in to the Main Event if we are live. This is the Main Event Podcast, baby. Making sure you like and subscribe on YouTube all the time as we bring you the realest side of boxing, the funnest side of boxing, and everything in between. I'm one of your hosts, Tawan Butler. You can follow me on Instagram, RHP_LV. That's my brother over there to my other left, Mike Risper. What's going on, man?
Not much, man. Glad to be here for another show.
Weekend good? Did you?
Weekend is great. It just went too fast.
It always go fast, man.
Indeed.
But that's what the weekend is for. You got 5 days to slave it out and 2 to rest up, and it ain't never enough.
Never enough.
But like I said, this is the Main Event Podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube, man, because we always bring you the realest in boxing. And today in the studio, we got a special guest right here. Not only is he a special guest, but when the brother first moved to Vegas, we hooked up. You know what I mean? So we got history like a history book in high school. We go back, baby. We go back. But none other. If you're worried about matchmaking and what it takes to make fights and to get fights approved in different states and the headaches they all go through to make these fights happen for the boxing fans, you talking about this man right here. He done matched some of the best fights Roy Jones Jr. Promotions has to offer. They got a great deal with the UFC Fight Pass, so they keep bringing you great content to view. I want to introduce our special guest on the Main Event Podcast. This is my man, Guy Taylor. What's up with it, baby?
Man, what's going on, man? Thanks for having
man,
me.
you know, man, we got to do what we got to do, man, here on the
gotta
Main
make
Event
it
Podcast.
happen.
Appreciate you having me, man.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
been watching you guys this weekly, man. You guys have some good stuff going on.
Hey,
Good
man.
content and
We
honest
tried.
stuff.
We
Hey,
tried.
we
tried to
tried,
keep it
man. I
going.
mean, when you talk boxing, man, see, the Main Event, the reason why we titled it the Main Event is because the Main Event is all people want to see when it
Right.
come down to boxing.
Right.
We skip the undercard. We go right to the main event, baby. You match main events all day. So
All
you
day
know
long.
you know what people want to see when
No,
you put
man,
them
you
in the
gotta
main
put the
event.
best stuff out there.
You
I
got to
get
put
it,
the
man.
best
You
stuff
got
out,
to.
man. You know, but thank you for coming through, God, man. You got
man,
a
my
lot
pleasure.
of years in the sport, man. And we brought you down just because we always give different sides of boxing, whether it's just strictly for the fans or strictly for the business. But I'm excited you're here because now we get to talk about the headache it takes to make these fights happen. The fighters you got to go through, the medicals that ain't never cleared, but they be lying over here. We got to talk about all
Get
that,
some of
man.
that back
Man,
room
there's
action.
so
That
much
back room action.
action,
Right. Back room action. So if you could just, for the people that don't know you, because there's a lot of folks that know you in the sport of boxing, but for the people that don't know you, just give a little rundown of yourself, man, while you here.
Man, I've been doing this for going on 18 years now. I actually matched my first fight in the 5th grade, and I haven't turned back.
Oh,
You know,
is that
one of
right?
those- one of those.
Hey, I didn't even
One
know
of
that.
those,
That's
yeah,
all right there.
I mean, I'm still kind of quiet about that one. but
Okay,
yeah, that one-
okay.
But I've been doing, like I said, 18 years, going on 60 fights and over maybe 300 bouts put together.
Oh, my God.
That's a lot
You
of
know,
bouts,
everything
man.
from
That's a resume.
ESPN to HBO, Showtime, UFC Fight Pass, Telemundo, you name it, man.
Oh,
I've been
man.
doing this.
Yeah, guys,
Doing this for a while.
He
That's
been matching
awesome.
fights for a long time, man. Now tell us, man, how did you even come across in the 5th grade? Because I can't even fathom putting together a fight in the 5th grade. But how did the bug bite you to match these fights? Man?
You know what? It kind of the whole boxing was like my family.
Yeah.
My cousin was actually Juan Lascano. They had Hispanic causing panic. He was number 1 to Floyd back in the early 2000s.
Okay.
This was when Floyd said, I'm going to leave this one alone. I'm going to go up a weight class and let him fight Castillo at the time here in Vegas.
Yeah, for
Here in
sure.
Vegas,
Yeah.
actually.
Okay.
So it's kind of been in the family. You know, I was telling people, my friends, they were doing backyard football.
Uh-huh.
We were doing backyard boxing with our drunk uncles. You know, they would tell us,
Okay,
you know, and like we didn't have gloves back then. We had like those old warming things to get the pots out the oven. Okay, put those on
Mix, yeah.
and then go in the backyard with your cousins. And there was 10 of us, all separated by 1 year. So it was a boxing thing,
Right,
growing
right.
up. And then after that, I joined the service when I was 18 years old. Did that for 15 years. When I moved to Vegas, believe it or not, I had no intentions on doing boxing ever again until I met
Till you met
T.
T.
Hey,
watch
how
out.
does
I had-
that
watch
happen?
out.
I
baby?
had stopped completely. I got a full-time job. I had my kids.
goodness.
You know, I wanted something more comfortable.
Yeah,
You know, I don't want
yeah.
the headaches of matchmaking. T came around and said, "Hey, guy, like we need a fight match for Thale."
Yeah,
old Thales
we was
Torrance.
at Thales
Yeah.
office,
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
I remember
And
that.
I
man,
said, okay,
like
I'll
it was
do one.
yesterday.
I'll do one. I told him.
Yeah.
Turned the whole car fell apart.
Right.
Then we were like 2 weeks out.
Yeah, 2 weeks
And
out.
the whole car just fell apart. So I just
Wow.
went from that, and then I met Bob Bennett,
Yeah.
Nevada
What's up,
Commission.
Bob? How you doing, baby? How you doing, Bob, man? Merry Christmas and Happy New Year when you see this. But go ahead, dog.
Yeah,
Go
that was
ahead.
it, man. I just got kicked back in with you, and I want to say thanks for that. Thanks for getting that bug back in me, man. And now it's been going 5 years now since I've been here. Worked with
man,
Roy Jones,
I
and
was
probably the
just
greatest fighter of all times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
At least of my era that I've
Yeah.
seen.
Well, he's arguably in any era,
Right.
Right.
one of the greatest that ever done it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, everybody have their own reasons for who they feel is the greatest, and I'm sure as many people feel that Roy Jones is one of the
definitely
greatest that
up there.
ever done it.
Oh yeah, Roy, one of the greatest that ever laced up, man. But I appreciate that, man. When we met, I was just a young boy trying to make it happen, man. We had Chewy out there going down, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
Chewy.
RHP was at his highest.
right.
We was selling out
man.
stuff all over the world, man. Chewy, what's up, man? And get with me anyway. But nah, man, it was great, man. I'm glad we met. How did we met? We met Bobby, right? Wasn't it Bobby from California?
Yeah, I think it was.
Was it an
Bobby. Yeah.
inbox or something like that? I'm really trying to
Yeah.
remember. I ain't fronting for the cameras. I'm just,
No,
I'm like,
me
that's
too.
really how we met, right? Was
Yeah.
it like, man, hook up with Guy or T hook up with Guy or Guy
Yeah,
hook up
exactly
with
what it
T while
was.
you in Vegas? It was something like that how we
what it
crossed
was.
paths.
And even then, I was kind of pushing you off, like, man, I don't want to do this.
Yeah,
You're like,
you
man, come and
was.
get a haircut. So I came and got a haircut.
That's how you get
And
everybody.
I was like, oh man, like you got me for and like I didn't get like a real tough fade. It was like a taper phase. I don't know why it took an hour and a half for a taper fade. So
We
I
had
knew,
to talk.
I knew he was doing something.
We had
Right.
to talk, man. We had to talk. But man, speak a little bit on, man, because there's a lot of aspiring matchmakers out there, man, who dream about getting into business. They just don't know the right people. Can you explain to these people, man, what it takes to even be a matchmaker in this sport?
I'll tell you what, man. I mean, there's levels to everything. You know,
Yes,
there's
sir.
like, there's like the small level fights. You know, all 4 rounders, maybe a 6 main event. Then talking about the higher stuff, you're talking about eliminators, world title fights.
Yeah.
You know. So I tell people this: if you serious about getting to matchmaking, you got to be fully committed to matchmaking, because matchmaking is the loneliest job in boxing.
Yes,
right?
it
And
is.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Yes, it is.
When a fight goes good, or actually when a show goes good, everyone says, man, what a great show Top Rank did. What a great show Golden Boy, Mayweather did. If a fight goes bad, first thing they say is, man, who put that fight together?
Yeah,
You're right.
So you never get any recognition until something goes bad.
To something go
Right.
bad.
You know, so I
Right.
tell guys, if you're going to be in it, man, you got to be in it. Deal with the headaches, deal with
Yeah.
the long nights of sleeping, and a lot of studying. You know,
Yep.
'cause for me personally, I don't have PBC's roster. I don't got 200 plus fighters where I can kind of mix and match, pick and choose. I got to do mine the old fashioned way. I got to see a fighter that I'm grooming for the company and find a style that gels good with him. Still give my guy a little bit of the edge, but now I got to make it where it's competitive. So now I have
Right.
to watch these films on everybody just to make sure I'm giving not only the fans something to watch, because when I first started, my dad said, match a fight in a show as if you're buying a ticket to go to it.
Oh, that's a good way to
So
do
ever
it.
since then, I've been using that same idea. Everything I do, I'm putting a show together as if I'm watching it.
as if you're watching it.
You know,
Man,
and
that's
so
the
makes
best
sense.
way to do it.
that's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
you're putting forth your best and giving it to the people. Because for me to tell somebody to spend your hard-earned money on my show, I want you to leave entertained.
Entertain.
I want
No,
you to.
That's true.
You know, I want you. I mean, I want you to grab a bout sheet and tell who's gonna win looking at it. You know what I mean? You see these, you TSD,
Right.
You
right.
know. You
10
know,
and
I
0
know.
versus 2 and 13. It's like, okay, well, let me guess
You
who's
are-
gonna win this one.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You
So-
already
for
know.
Sure. I mean, we can go and we can chime in on that here at the Main Event Podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe, man. It's a lot of fighters, man, that don't make the cut, and it's not because they can't fight. It's just sometimes, like you said, being a matchmaker, you got to boil down to what's business and what's entertainment.
Right.
And sometimes you got to mesh both of them.
Right.
You can't just be like, all right, man, look, I know you're going to knock this dude out. People want to see knockouts. But as a matchmaker, you got to worry about, is this dude going to go to the hospital? Am I
Exactly.
going to run the promoter's insurance bill
Right.
up by putting this
Right.
dude in the ring? It's going to be a lot of stuff, man. Speak on that, by why these fighters don't, why they can't get lopsided fights like they want to.
Well, a lot of it is based on the commission you go to. You know, you fight here in Nevada, Bob Bennett ain't gonna put you in soft.
No,
you know
no,
what I mean?
no.
You know,
Bob
like,
Bennett don't play that.
I mean, Bob believes in having fights equally matched, which to me is good in a sense, but it also to me that gives more of a chance for a guy to get hurt. You know, because you got guys who are two competitive fighters
Right.
who don't want to go down. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
so they're gonna fight tooth and nail until the very end. Where you can go to a smaller commission, like let's say I'm gonna say Iowa. I ain't picking on Iowa. I'm just saying I'm using you as an example.
Right.
Where all you need is like, let's say, blood work or something. You know,
Right, that's it.
and where you can go in there.
They don't care if you can see or nothing.
And
Just blood work.
Like someone told me, man, all you need. Someone was telling me is like 2 good feet and a heartbeat.
That's it.
And the heartbeat's optional. You know what I mean? So it's like one of these type of commissions.
Right.
You know,
right,
so
right.
It's just a matter of the actual state. This is one thing I've been trying to focus on and not focus on it for me doing it personally, but trying to make it to where there's one database, one commission for boxing. Baseball has
that'd be
it,
great.
basketball has it,
Yes,
all the major
yes.
sports have it.
That's true.
You know, but every state you go to, everyone
whole
has their
different
own
setup.
different. You know what I mean? So it's hard to tell a fighter who's, let's say, 9-0, 10-0, who's done all this money for medicals in Nevada or in California, but yet you go to another state, you got to do completely different medicals.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm all for the safety and well-being, but let's have one database.
Unified.
Yeah, just to make it clear, make it easy for everybody.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that
fighters.
makes sense.
Oh, go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry.
No, I'm disagreeing with him. I see that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, because now, you know, with this unified front, then there's no back door, there's no sneaking, there's no politics, it's all, you got to go through the same door as
Right.
everybody else.
You
Well,
got
you know
one
what
man
I
in
say?
charge.
I say put me in front of the door. And let me run the door. And then I govern the whole
Here we
sport,
go.
baby. And then we make it right. No, because I do believe that. It's like he said, hockey got it, baseball got it, basketball got it, football got it. Why boxing don't have it?
Every
Right.
major sport
Everybody entrepreneurs in the sport of boxing. They running their own business.
Like,
Everybody.
And I agree,
Yeah.
each state should regulate when
Right.
it comes to your state, but there should be one person in charge who passes down suspensions, maybe looks at the guys, okay, this guy isn't cutting it. You know, this guy's lost 6 in a row. Maybe he should take off a year or so. Let's
Makes
we
sense.
evaluate him
Yeah.
Right.
as time goes on. But I think
Yeah.
you should have one guy in charge of that.
Yeah.
Right. Now, what do you – I'm sorry, Mike. Go ahead.
Like I
Nah.
said, just jump on that. I even think when they the last year, we have more fighters that have died in the ring.
That's what I was about to
You
touch
know,
on, brother. We here. We here.
With that being said, that's why it's more important to have a unified front.
Absolutely.
You know, because now the safety of the fighter can be number one in all states, not just in one state.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because that's important. You know, you're supposed to be able, to live to fight another day. You know, you may not win, or if you know you're not going to win, unless you're going to get a knockout and don't look like you're going to get that knockout, some trainers need to throw in that towel a little bit sooner now.
I agree.
You know?
I agree. And a lot of things you see now, believe it or not, a lot of the injuries are coming even before the fight. You know, a lot of people don't understand. These guys are sparring. For instance, we have our welterweights who spar with like light heavyweights.
Yeah.
I'm telling people, you're fighting a welterweight come fight night, but you've been sparring with a guy 30 pounds heavier than you.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of these brain scans and tests are done before the fight. How come we're not doing them after the fight?
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, someone can get an MRI and MRA, and that's good for 5 years. Yeah, but how much damage did that man take up to then?
Right.
And we're just now finding out.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
and even the weight loss these guys are doing. We have some guys that I know personally, not in our company, that cut 40 pounds.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's like, at what point
That
is
can't be
is
healthy.
that healthy?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It can't be healthy.
Because your brain needs that
That's
carbs,
right.
needs that water
Need it.
for the cushion.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not drinking water for 3 days, if you're only eating cauliflower and tree bark, you're not going. You can't be healthy come fight night.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah, it
yeah.
makes
So
sense.
there's so much involved in that.
Well, to me, that's where they personally need to take a page out of Floyd Mayweather book, because I don't ever recall Floyd being more than 10 pounds
Never.
over fight weight
Never.
his whole career. Then fighters, after they win, they put on 30, 40 pounds and chill 2 months, and then they got to work. The fight is them actually making the weight.
Exactly.
They fight the scale before they fight their opponent, and
Right.
sometimes they lose at the scale.
Yeah,
So that's that's
absolutely.
crazy. That's crazy
Absolutely.
like that, man. But let's also touch on some other things, guy, because like I said, man, this is the Main Event podcast. Like and subscribe on YouTube, baby, because we gotta know, man. When you got somebody of your stature here, man, who done made fights for all different networks, man, Let's talk about these fighters, man, who demand money that they are not
I knew that was
worth.
coming. I knew that was coming.
Because we gotta know, you got some fighters who just like 11-0 don't get you 20,000, man.
No.
It's not gonna happen. Give it up.
Yeah.
Earn your spot to make 20K, man. So talk to me about. We ain't gotta say no names. As a matchmaker, it's all discretion, baby. But talk about the fighters who want money but not worth the money, and you got to cut them off.
Well, it's kind of hard to tell somebody what you're worth. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of, I mean, everybody wants to shoot for the high number because everyone feels their value is different than somebody else's.
Right.
You know, but I tell people, look at the event you're on. You know, if this is a low, like a mid-level, small club show, you can't be asking for Showtime money.
Right.
You just can't
That's
be doing
right.
that.
I mean,
you know, and then some guys, when they be coming off these skits where they lost 5 out of 6, you know, and like, but they still want the money that they were making when they were on the winning streak. I
Right,
said, man, you
right.
can't ask for that when you not, you know,
You just
doing what
lost
you want.
5 fights.
You know,
out of 6.
I mean, I can barely get you approved.
Right.
Now you want, now
You want 15.
now you want, come on,
Right.
I mean, I've had some ridiculous guys who were like, this is no joke, and I would say his name, but like I said, I'm not going to say his name.
Don't say it. Don't say
But
it.
if it comes out, it might just come out. He
Hey,
wanted
you gotta do what you gotta
he
do.
wanted 15,000 for 8 rounds. And
Okay.
it was so bad, I had to look at my phone again to make sure I called the right person. I was like, 15,000? I'm like, you 10-4.
Yeah.
Did you see your record?
You fought all in Mexico. You
Right.
You want 15
you
grand.
want 15 grand for
15
8
grand.
rounds? Oh no.
I mean, I get it. You feel me? They put in the time. They sparring. They running. They sacrificing. I get it, but they don't understand. On your side, it's still a
Yeah,
business.
and like
Right.
I can tell the guys, I can't buy beer with wine money. You know what I'm saying? I just can't do it.
Right.
You know, I can only give you what we have.
What we have,
You
yeah.
know, if I don't got pay-per-view money, I can't give you pay-per-view pay.
So kind of walk us through your first steps of putting a show together when it comes to, you know, I know you'll have your main 2 fighters that you shoot
Right.
for, but then them undercards. I mean, what is your process? I mean, kind of walk us through.
Well, prime example, we have a show coming January 30th at the Legends Casino in Topanish, Washington. Now, for those who don't know where Topanish is, me neither. It's out there. You gotta look hard on the map to find Topanish. But you know, what I do is I always start from the top, work my way to the bottom.
Okay.
You know, I'll get my main and co-main out the way because that's always something I'm always got to shoot to the UFC Fight Pass. I got to shoot it to whoever. I got to have the main event done. My undercard is pretty much the locals. The kids who are 3-4-0, those who are having a hard time getting on shows because there's only maybe 1 or 2 a year.
Yeah.
So those are the guys I give opportunities to.
Okay,
You know,
okay,
and
that
then
makes
believe it or
sense.
not, they actually build themselves up to be like the opening bout on UFC Fight Pass.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, on this show we have two local guys, 7-0 and 5-0. They started on the first show. Now they're the opening bout on UFC Fight Pass.
Oh,
You see what I
okay.
mean? So
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
gets the opportunity.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
so and anywhere I go, I always try to get the locals in because those are the ones that are selling the tickets. You know what I mean?
Right,
Those are the
right.
ones that are bringing the family, friends, the
Yep,
coworkers.
exactly.
You know, so that's how I got to do it.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
unfortunately,
That makes
I don't get, you know, these big license deals where I'm getting $1 million, $2 million to put a show on. You know,
Right, right, right.
it's all
No, I
hard work
understand.
here. You know, T can test that. You know, every time the shows here, it was all tickets in hand.
Yeah.
Going to
Ticket-
barber shops, going to
Yeah.
the
Right.
Yeah.
wherever,
Yeah,
pushing
for sure.
tickets, man. So that the only way we can do it is get the locals on there.
100%,
makes sense.
man. And I always, man, I'm gonna give a big ups to guy because every time if I have a new fighter I'm working with, I hit guy like, hey man, can we find a spot for my dude on the card, man.
He's cool. Yeah, he's always done that, but like I go, T, like look at your clock, man. Like it's like 11:30 at night, midnight.
Right,
you texting.
I'm always up, man, but don't tell
always
Z
up.
that because Z hit me at 1:30 in the morning. I really was asleep, Z. I promise, bro. I swear to God, I was asleep, bro. I swear. But nah, I'm always. He said 11:30. I was asleep by 12:30, man. Believe it. Always, man. Guy he's a stand-up dude, man. 100%. We done always done business together, man, and I appreciate him because fighters, if you really trying to make a name for yourself and you trying to get in where you fit in, Guy Taylor is the man
That's
to
where you-
get
that's
at.
where you
Yeah.
go, man. Like I
Yeah.
tell guys, don't be afraid to fight. You know, everyone has like that fear of losing.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
it's unfortunate because if you look at some of the greats that's ever been in the sport, they've
They've
all
lost.
had. I
Yeah.
mean, one of the greatest fighters that people say to ever live was Sugar Robinson. That man had like darn near 20 losses. You know what I mean?
See?
So don't be afraid to lose. I tell people, don't dare to be great. Dare to be great whatever you do.
That's right.
Give it your all in everything you have.
Yeah, you
Whether
have to.
I mean, whether you're a 4-rounder, whether you're a 12-rounder, fighting
That's
for
right.
a world title, man, you give it everything you got.
Give it everything you got.
Now, I'm sorry, bro. Was you about to
No,
say
no.
something? Okay, now as a matchmaker, man, for Roy Jones Jr. Promotions. What's up, Roy? What's up, Keith? How y'all doing out there? But building up a fighter, man, from zero to a world title, man. What's that? What's that feeling like, man? Because didn't y'all recently just have
Yeah.
somebody fight overseas for a
Yeah,
world
we had
title?
a-
He was a 118 pounder or something.
115.
Yeah, I knew I was close. I was right on the
115
money.
pounder. Yeah, man, he fought for the world title on 2 occasions.
And when did y'all get him?
Man, you gonna laugh at this story. You gonna laugh at this one. This guy was fighting like on dirt floors in the Philippines, man.
What?
Yeah, and then like I don't know what I was thinking. I was just going through film, and I don't know why I even Googled on his name.
Wow.
I was just going through old film, and it kind of leads you to another one. And I clicked on him, and I go, man, this is a 5'9", 115 pounder. Like, you don't find these too often.
Right.
Power punching from the Philippines. I said, man, let me give this guy a call and see what he's doing.
Wow.
And it was literally, I talked to him in like July. We had him signed in August. He fought here in Vegas at the downtown Las Vegas Event Center. He won a minor title, got ranked in the top 10. And literally 2 fights later, he's on HBO fighting for the world title.
Oh, wow.
Against his country's legend. His name is Donnie Nietes, who is the longest reigning world champion from the Philippines. Everyone thinks it's Pacquiao. This guy's the longest reigning for like 14 years. He's been undefeated.
Wow.
11 years as world champion. And we fought to a draw.
Wow. I would have thought Pacquiao too myself.
I did too until I started getting educated. Until they educated me on that.
Right.
Because no one thinks like that in the smaller weight classes, man. So it was tough. It was a tough journey. And then he ended up fighting, after he had the draw, he had to fight an eliminator to fight for the title again.
Okay.
Then he fought in Japan back in June and gave it his all, but came up short.
Okay.
And so the guy was held his head down. I said, man, pick that up.
Yeah.
Pick that up. Understand. I told him, I go, sometimes even your best ain't gonna be enough.
Mm-hmm.
And just because you deserve it, don't mean they're gonna give it to you.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So
That's true.
But everyone takes losses differently.
Yeah.
Some guys build off that. Some guys they feel kind of liberated
Right.
when they lose, and the other time it can hurt you.
Deflates them. Yeah.
What about the fighters that blame everybody but theyself?
Oh,
It
that's
was
all
a
of them.
matchmaker.
That's
It
all
was
of
my
them.
trainer.
Yeah.
I ain't
all
had
of
the
them.
right
Oh,
spar.
that's all-
I ain't do this. Talk about them
That
fighters
is
right
all of
there,
them, man. Because when you're winning, everybody's happy.
everybody's happy.
The
Yep.
moment you lose, or maybe it's not even losing, the moment you have like a setback where, man, that was a tough fight, I had a draw or I had a close fight. Now you start picking, okay, who do I fire now?
Right.
Had to been the trainer.
'Cause it wasn't me.
Because the trainer, the trainer only got me to 20, so
Right.
my first loss, it had to be him that cost me the fight.
Right.
It had to be the matchmaker not knowing what he was doing who got me from not ranked to world ranked.
Right.
Or is it the promoter who invested 6 figures plus into me?
Right.
No one ever takes responsibility for themselves.
That's right.
That's the
right.
problem.
Yeah.
And I see it all the time. Especially in like the mid-level fights where the 8-rounders. I've had one guy, believe it or don't, man. He asked me, "What color corner am I going to be in?"
They do that all the time.
And
bro.
I said, "Well, what color corner gives you superpowers?" Because that's the one I want you in. That's the one I want you in.
Hey, no lie, I can even attest to that. I didn't even text you before. Like, hey man, my dude said is he gonna be in the blue corner or the red corner? I ain't gonna lie. I tell the truth on the main event. We talking about the color corners
He
and
did.
everything.
He did.
Then I text you like, hey man, my dude said
I was
what
like, you
corner
better
is
stop
he in?
that.
He was like, T, are you serious? what you mean what corner
I got
he
so
coming
much
out
going on.
of?
Remember what color? Or they tell me this: Am I coming as the opponent?
Right.
I said, look, man, you coming with an opportunity.
There you
Whatever
go.
title you give yourself, that's on you.
Right.
Because
Yeah,
last I
it's
checked,
true.
every world champion was once a challenger
That's it.
at one point.
That's it.
They weren't born with that title.
That's it.
They had to go take it.
No, that's true.
So if you're telling yourself that you're the opponent, then you're always going to be the opponent.
That's right.
If you tell yourself, man, this is my opportunity
Right.
Yep.
to do something, then ask Andy Ruiz.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
the opponent, wasn't he?
He was the
He
opponent
sure
all
was.
day
Wasn't he?
long.
He sure was.
On 2 occasions.
Right.
2 occasions.
Yeah.
So you just got to take it, man. You just got to go with it. Sometimes you got to grab the opportunity and take it.
These fighters, man, sometimes they just don't get it, guy. It's like you said, it's all about the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like there's guys that y'all got signed, and then there's guys you got to bring in to test y'all guys.
Exactly.
Now it's like I tell all my fighters, if you want to beat a fighter, if you want to make $100,000 in the sport, you got to beat $100,000 fighter.
There you go.
You got to beat a $50,000 fighter
There
if
you
you
go.
want to
That's
make $50,000.
That's right.
There you go.
Don't worry about what you getting. Yeah, he getting 60 and you getting 12, but if you beat him, you getting close to that 60
Boxing
all day long.
Oh, okay. I got to interrupt. We had this conversation
We did.
when it was me.
You seen the alley oop? I was hoping you'd catch me. I was hoping you'd catch
I knew
me.
where you was going. I knew you was going because.
But it's the truth.
We stand on 2 different sides when it comes to certain decisions.
Right.
Now, when you're talking about earlier in the career, I agree with you.
Right.
But as you begin to climb in your career and you become more of a contender, or you become somebody that name is ringing in your division, and no longer are you just somebody that's put in a ring to test the other fighter. At what point? I'm asking the matchmaker. I ain't gonna talk. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Okay.
At what point do it has to be fair? Also, as far as purse wise, for the challenger.
Okay, I'll put it like this. everyone uses Anthony Joshua as the example for that because Joshua makes $1 trillion. The opponent makes like a tenth of that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, Anthony Joshua also sells out 90,000 seats, though. These venues are sold out because of Anthony Joshua, not because of you.
Mm-hmm.
Networks are there because they're paying Joshua the big money. The same thing with Canelo. Canelo's making $35 million plus a fight, where the opponent might make 4 or 5.
Right.
So in this sense, where you can't be asking for Canelo cash if you're not bringing in what Canelo brings in. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. But if you know, everybody wants to fight Canelo because they know they're going to get their biggest payday.
Right.
You know, and people understand that if you're not selling tickets, if you're not these huge ratings, you can't be asking for that kind of money. But like T said, you have to beat somebody to get there.
Right.
True.
So if look at Ruiz.
Can I chime in for a minute?
Go ahead.
I alley-ooped it to him. Now I feel like it's coming back because I told him that last week, right? We was talking about Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua fighting.
And I wasn't even looking at you either on this. For those who were, my back was turned answering the question, so he wasn't giving no signals.
Right, no, yeah, for sure. I was all in the camera. I was dancing because I said that. I said, look, it don't matter. Like if a dude making, say the most he ever made was $55,000 fighting somebody, and now he get in the ring with Canelo. Yeah, Canelo making $25 million, but they giving you $850,000.
Run, take it and run.
You ain't never made that. You just got done making $35,000 your last fight.
You may never get that.
It don't matter what he about to make. You finna get this $850. He getting $25. Oh well, beat him, and then we'll talk your $1 million.
So even if you a belt holder and the other guy is a belt holder, and y'all both have you ain't just nobody. Like I said, you're not a nobody.
Right.
You have a following, but maybe he's the A side. So that means that it has to be that unbalanced no matter what.
Unbalanced to a certain point where, like I said, are we bringing in equal revenue? Because if we're not, if they're coming to see me, you can't be asking for half of what I'm getting because I could fight anybody and get this money. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to use Andrade as a perfect example for this. Andrade can't even sell out an arena in his hometown. I mean, he fought at the Duncan Center out there in Rhode Island. Mm-hmm. He couldn't even sell that out. I think that was like 8,000 people.
Okay.
When they were talking about, and I'm going to touch on nothing else later on, but when they're showing his highlights on DAZN, he only got like 200,000 clicks on his thing. So when he's asking, I want big money, well, like you're not bringing anything to the table, my man. That's the thing.
Right.
And this is where I caught a lot of hell on social media on these YouTubers.
Yeah,
you saw what's going on now.
Keeping it real on social
media.
you
saw what's
keep
going
it
on.
real
Yeah,
all day long.
And I catch slinging from people.
I
it's
know
like
you do.
Like from all
I read
angles.
the comments.
You know, like and prime example. There's a YouTuber named Logan Paul. He fought a guy named KSI, I believe.
Yeah, he did.
Mm-hmm.
Mind you, these guys are making their quote unquote professional debut.
Okay.
This guy sold out the Staples Center. The same Staples Center that De La Hoya was fighting at. The same that Sugar Shane Mosley's fighting at. This dude is debuting, selling that out. And not only that, but his fight was the top 5 in DAZN, not top 5 boxing, top 5 viewed events on all of DAZN last year. So when people say, well, what's he bringing? He brought a sold out arena. He brought a top 5 viewership. So yeah, he got paid. I think it was $900,000.
He got
paid for that. If you looked at that, that's the thing we're missing now. In boxing, we're missing that we're missing that fan that is like your everyday casual fan.
Right.
When he fought, that looked like a darn Justin Bieber concert, man. It was so many white Americans out there, which is great because we kind of lost them. You know what I mean? We kind of lost that. So he brought that back.
He brought it back.
You know, so guys like that, they get good money because of what they did.
Right. They the reason.
All right, T. I stand corrected.
Thank you, man.
I take my hat out to you on
I mean,
that.
I've been in the business a little bit.
It's all right.
I mean, I kind of know what I'm talking about.
I do give him some notes.
It's all right. I'm gonna give you a little credit because of God.
Hey, I take it. But it's like I told him though. I said, yeah, like look at Floyd's fights and Floyd getting 20 million, 30 million, and here come Marcos Maidana getting 3 million.
Wow, well, Floyd's
he getting 30 million. Here come Andre Berto getting 3 million. Yeah, Andre Berto don't deserve 10, 15 million dollars. They coming to see Floyd lose, which means they coming to see Floyd.
Floyd was the master of marketing. I mean, Floyd understood that boxing is like a Latino run sport in a sense. Was if you notice, Floyd only fought on 2 certain days of the year.
You know it.
Which one were they?
May and September.
Which was Cinco de Mayo.
And
Mexican Independence Day.
Yep.
And he always fought a Latino in that. Now he fought
something. Shane once on one of them days.
He did fight Shane
And
then
Berto.
Berto. But if
And
you
then
notice,
Berto.
Berto was like the worst showing ever.
Oh, it was horrible.
It didn't sell out. It was the worst pay-per viewership. Other than that, he fought because
nobody wanted to see Berto. It wasn't.
That's
It
true,
was just
Nobody cares
After
about Berto.
Pacquiao, nobody wanted to see
his
Berto.
name. His name wasn't even ringing in boxing anymore.
Like, you really can't go from fighting Pacquiao to fight.
Well, he was
Who's
supposed
next?
to fight
Right.
Berto, but Victor Ortiz ended up beating Berto,
That's
and that's
right.
how Ortiz got in there with
Look
Floyd.
at T here. There's history here.
Hey man, I was watching the fight with Berto and to Berto and Ortiz. That was a hell of a fight.
One of the
I
best
remember
fights.
watching
Yeah.
that
Oh, yeah.
fight.
Yeah,
He
they
came
knocked each
back,
other down.
and then Floyd and Heyman was sitting right there at the fight. And I bet Floyd was like, "All right, I'll whoop him." They give him a couple million, man. I put hands on him and get out of here. You know what I'm saying? But since we talking about that fight, do you think that was a cheap shot Floyd put on him?
on Victor.
Yeah.
I thought it was a cheap shot for Victor to give a flying headbutt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a
You
cheap
know?
shot.
Yeah,
That
they
was
tell
a cheap
you
shot.
protect yourself at all times.
I mean, how many times you want to hug me and apologize?
I mean, you can only kiss my face once or
Right.
twice around. I mean, you really
Right.
can't.
After
do
that,
more
we
than
gotta
that.
fight.
You know, eventually
After that,
we
we
got
gotta
to
fight.
We got to get back to business.
You know,
Get back to
so
business.
to me, I said no. I mean, like after hugging them and kissing them, and you expect to get hit eventually, and you know,
Right.
Yeah.
Now we didn't dove into all that process, man. What we want to know now is like and subscribe on YouTube, baby, the Main Event Podcast, where we bring you the real, baby. But what we want to know is, let's talk about the fighters that y'all got coming up, man. Who are some of the top fighters that y'all bringing up through RJJ that you personally got your eye on that could be a top tier in the sport and
right.
they weight class?
well, for us, we don't want to have that big, 30, 40 fighters in our family. You know, we don't want that, because everyone's gonna feel like they're being left out. We want to pretty much keep everybody equally.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
only have about a dozen fighters. To me, that's more than enough, given what we have. Right now we have a few world ranked contenders. We have guys who are in position to place themselves into title contention. Right now, and on February 28th, we have Kendo Castaneda, who's one of my personal favorites. This guy's ranked number 15 in the world by WBO. He's
What's his
fighting
record? Ain't he 16
17 and 0 with
something
8
like that?
knockouts, and he's going to fight another 17 and 0
Oh,
with 12 knockouts, who's ranked number
is
8 in
that
the world.
right?
Yeah, so these are fights that you don't see, because it's very rare you find two 17-0 guys
That's right.
risking it. But this is what I talked about earlier. They're daring to be great.
Yeah.
So right now we had a long talk about that. It was right before the convention, which was in December, and that the winner of this will get elevated to a number 3 or number 4 ranking in the world. So these are guys who are taking the big risk, but looking for the big reward.
Yeah.
And he's in there. We have a local kid, Max Ornelas, ranked number 6 in the world at
The
118.
UNLV kid.
UNLV.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all. I had a fighter on that card too, man. When y'all did it at the Thomas and Mack.
Yeah,
No, the Cox
at the Cox
Pavilion.
Pavilion.
Cox Pavilion, man. There was a lot of people that came out to see that kid, man.
about 3,000 people.
Man, it was a lot of people came out to
3,000
see that
people.
kid, man. How did y'all end up even getting that kid?
Well, we got him when he was 17 years old. He wasn't even allowed to even fight.
Wow.
He had a crazy 72 hours. Like he had a graduation, he had a weigh-in, and then Roy Jones Jr. signed him very next day. So this man talk about 72 hours.
Right,
Wow.
right.
He
right,
had a
man.
busy-
and he's a hell of a fighter, man.
Oh, he's a good kid.
What
man.
is what's his path? What you got coming up for him?
Well, we're gonna fight for him for March,
Uh-huh.
but he's gonna fight another undefeated prospect. So Max is 13 and 0. We're looking to find him as someone who's 13 and 0 as well, named Brandon Valdez from Colombia, but now living in California. Actually trains with Manny Robles, who trades Andy Ruiz.
Oh,
So you
wow.
guys say it's gonna be a good
Yeah.
old-fashioned Latino battle, man. So that's what we're.
Those are excellent.
Man,
he-
but you
he-
will have to download the UFC Fight Pass to see all these fights.
And it's
I
free.
need my promotion
It's
credits.
free.
And it's free,
It's
baby.
free
You
for the
gotta
first 7
download.
days. First 7 days, it's free.
That's right, baby. Here on the Main Event Podcast, we do make sure everybody get all the whereabouts, where the fight's gonna be, who's fighting. We bringing in nothing but the best. Make sure you like and subscribe all the time, man. I'm Tawan Butler, Mike Risper, Guy Taylor, and we bring you nothing but the best. It ain't over, baby. I just wanted to say everybody's name. You know
That's
what I mean?
all right.
Now we gonna dive in
Do
into.
you.
Now let's be some fans about the sport, man. 'cause
that's what I came for.
I know you did. I know you did. I know you
Talk
did. I
business no
couldn't
more.
wait. Yeah, you talk business, man. But yeah. Let's get right back to business one time. I'm sorry, but speak on what you look for in a fighter to bring them over to RJJ. To any other up and coming fighters that's ready to go pro, that want to get a shot. What do you look for to say, you know what, Roy, let's sign this dude?
Well, there's a few things that we look at. One, obviously, is their physical ability, but
Right.
also look at their outside habits. I look at their family orientated. Those are things that, to me, they have values.
Yeah.
Because
Leonard chimed on that too. when we
Because
was there.
believe
He
it-
sure did.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He said the same.
Oh,
He was
he-
like, yeah, you.
I
with
didn't
their
copy
family,
that.
like-
See, I didn't
Nah,
look at the Leonard show.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. Y'all on the same
Yeah,
page.
same-
You feel
same
me? So,
page.
yeah, go ahead.
true.
I didn't mean to
It's-
interrupt.
It's
but go
so
ahead.
true, man, because eventually they're going to get their opportunity. A lot of guys, make that big money. But my thing is, what are you going to do once you get that?
That's right.
Do you have that guidance? Do you have that structure in your
Kind of
house that
discipline
you're brought
you
up
have.
with? Because if you don't, then now I become more of a liability now. And now I'm worried about you. Are you going to fall off the wagon? Are you going to be out there, let the partying take over? You know what I mean? Everyone does great when they're in the beginning. But once they hit a certain level, it's like they forget everything.
That's true.
And I'm not telling a guy, don't go out there and celebrate. Don't go out there and have a good time. But just be mindful of what you're doing.
Yeah.
Don't do anything dumb. I might tell people, nothing good happens after midnight. Especially here in Vegas, man. Nothing good.
Nothing good happens after midnight.
Get yourself
That's
home,
right.
watch the MASH reruns, whatever it is. I want you home by a certain time, man.
Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
No, that
Not
makes
a
sense.
problem,
But yeah, I
man.
mean, I look at everything. Not their amateur background, their capabilities. But like I said, the main thing is where they come from. Their family and their foundation. Prior to that, that's a
So
big
all
factor.
that's so fighting is just, it's a big part, but outside of that, all the other little intangibles make
It
a
all-
decision
all
whether
business-
you're gonna
exactly.
sign them or not.
Exactly, because Roy is the kind of guy. Roy doesn't want no headaches, man. Roy is a country boy from Florida. I mean, he's a family man, so he doesn't want. I mean, if I tell him Roy we got a problem, that's the worst thing I can tell him. He doesn't want to hear that. Don't tell him we got a problem. Tell him we got solutions.
Right,
Same way with
right.
Keith, man. They don't want to hear that.
What's
That's
up,
crazy.
Keith? That's my buddy, man.
Yeah, that's
Keith
the man
is
right
my
there.
buddy, man. That's my buddy.
That's the man that no one talks about. Virgin
Hey, nah, man, Keith, we got to get you down here, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, we partners. We had a little run in, man, back in the day, but we grown now, baby. We can sit down and we can talk about the business of boxing, man. We on the right side. But let's jump into, man, let's be fans of the sport, man. Let me, I just want to ask you this. Mike touched on it a little bit because we talked about the deaths in the ring. Do you think that those fights were mismatched because there was deaths in that ring, or do you think it was the luck of the draw and the right punch in the wrong situation?
I think a lot of it is the lead up to the fight. Like I touched on before, like the training that goes on with it, the hard sparring these guys are doing. Are they cutting 20, 30 pounds the week out? Stuff like that. All that plays a factor. We always take a look at how many fights they had in the year, but we don't talk about how many sparring rounds these guys put in throughout the year. Some guys are doing 100 plus rounds for a fight.
In between,
Times that by 4. That's 400 or 500 rounds of fighting. That no one looks into.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And knowing they're fighting bigger men.
Right, and the headgear don't work that good.
Come on now.
right.
For those who are put headgear on, you know what that is? That's like 4 beanies.
Right,
Stop.
yeah. Headgear
Stop
don't
it.
work that good.
That is not stopping anything.
Nah, man, not at all. But let's just strictly be fans of the sport, man. Right now, I want to hear your take. Do you think that a healthy ankle Gamboa would have gave Tank all he could handle in that fight? A healthy ankle Gamboa, or foot, or shoe,
maybe about,
whatever was wrong.
Maybe about 8 years ago or so. But I mean, I don't think Gamboa should even be in the ring with a Tank. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you.
Okay.
I mean, Gamboa was great at 126. He was great, but when you're talking about there are weight classes for a reason. I tell people a good big man will always beat a great little man. It just eventually come around 9 or 10 when that big man's holding you, like you got to fight him off you. Eventually
Right.
physically he's going to take a toll on you.
Yes.
Now with that being said, I don't think Tank did any justice to himself by letting that go on that long. I don't know if he was just doing it, but you can't go 12 rounds with a guy who has a blown tire in round 2. You just can't do that.
You're right.
Especially if you try to make a statement to somebody, because that didn't work.
That's why I asked you, was a healthy shoe, a healthy ankle Gamboa probably could have gave him more than he can handle?
I mean, I to be honest, I don't know how much Gamboa has left in him. At this stage in his career, 38 years old? It's not 38, 39, something like that.
Yeah,
He's up there. He's up there in age.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
And
Yeah,
he's
he's up
about
there.
maybe 5'4". Because I'm not a tall dude. I'm like 5'9" with my boots on. This dude was smaller than me, so I know he's not a big guy. So for him to go up to the lightweight, man, you're just too small for that. So I don't think it would have made a difference. I just think it looks worse for Tank to go that long and struggle the way he did with an old faded world champion.
With an old faded world champion.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, hey, man, you hear
With a
from the
busted
matchmaker.
ankle.
With a busted ankle, shoe,
you
Achilles,
can't-
whatever
you
it was.
can't go like that with a flat tire. You
No.
go 12 rounds with the champ.
He went 10 extra rounds with a flat tire and still made it look good.
He
Slipping and punching and hey, man. Hey, whatever, man. Everybody deserve an off night, but like I said when we touched on that, when you're a fighter, there's no I'll see you later on in the season. You got to be right as soon as them lights come on.
That's it.
Because you ain't going to get another opportunity. If you look bad when these lights come on, ain't really no guaranteed rematch.
No, I tell people, like a pitcher can have a bad outing, come back 4 days later, look spectacular. A quarterback can have a bad outing next Sunday, Boxing, you don't have that luxury.
Nah,
if you have a
not
bad
at all.
outing, that's could mean
that's your career
Your pay's
almost.
being cut
Pay
now.
cut.
You might lose some. You know,
Yeah.
boxing is the only sport where you can go from the doghouse to the penthouse overnight.
That's right.
And also vice
Doghouse to the
versa.
penthouse.
Also vice versa. You can go from
Yeah,
the penthouse to the doghouse
In one night.
In one night.
Yeah,
Andy.
for sure. Yeah, look at Andy.
You know
Oh,
that
Jesus,
loss
that
set
man.
him back, man.
He's.
You think it set him back?
Yeah.
I think it hurt.
I think Anthony Joshua just boxed a little smarter.
Well,
I think the same Andy showed up.
well,
No,
the same
Joshua
Andy,
just didn't fall for the last.
well, the same Andy, but add 30 pounds to it. Yeah. My thing is, you can't come into camp 2 months late, like his coach was saying. You can't. I mean, it's the biggest fight of your life, and you knew that after
right.
you won.
That's right. That's right.
You know,
That's because
so-
they quadrupled his purse when they paid him for that first time.
I mean, he's out there with his homies in California. My
out
thing is
there
this,
with the
Right.
homies.
how
man.
many of those guys were at the airport picking you up when you lost, though?
I think he was by himself. I seen the
Getting that
interview with
Uber.
TMZ.
He had to get that Uber.
Carrying his own bags.
Yeah, he didn't even have a car.
Right.
So you can keep that.
Oh man, now what about the women in boxing, man? Because we was talking earlier through text message, man, and you brought up some
man.
girl that just fought on the zone the other day. What was her name?
And Alejandra Jimenez from Mexico City.
Right.
Okay, now here's the thing.
Tell me a little bit
Here's
about
the
her, because
thing.
I missed the fight, but the fact that
Here's
you
the
told
thing.
me what you told me, it made. I'm gonna go back and watch it tonight. when I
Okay, yeah,
lay
you
down.
have to because
I will.
because I was juggling between both fights. They had the Jesse Hart and they had the Joe Smith fight on ESPN. They had the zones. I'm going back and forth with my both prescriptions for this thing. And so I caught the fight. The girl from Mexico beat her name was can't remember her name, but she fought Shields. Last name was Cruz. She was a world champion. She beat her, so I'm going back to the ESPN show. And then my boy said, "Man, guy, did you hear the interview?" I go, "Man, you know I don't listen to post-fight interviews. I don't got time for that when I got the main event going on." He said, "Man, go back to listen to that." Man, if she didn't sound like Antonio Banderas, I don't know what.
Oh man,
I don't know what it is.
They was calling her a man. He said all the social media was calling her a man.
Yeah, she got on that microphone. I was like, "Oh no, no."
She gonna have to weigh in with her drawers on.
Are you on the right
We gonna
side?
make sure she all right. She gonna have to weigh in with her drawers on.
And what's bad was like everyone at once, like even like after she got the first word out, and everyone's like, "Oh man, that's a man," or transitioning.
Right.
So of course all these fake stuff are coming on now. It's funny because I actually met this lady. I met her in Cancun when one of our fighters, Max Ornelas, he took a fight on his second fight. He fought in Cancun, and I'm sitting next to her, and she's like 5'12", man. She's tall. She got a little baby. She had a dude at the time, so I didn't think nothing of it. But then when you fast forward 4 years, you see her the way she is now. You're like, what? That's not what I.
That's not
Not what I saw.
What happened?
I don't know. Like her fade got tight, and
Her
then
fade got tight.
and all of a sudden, like
Skin
the
tight.
voice got, like I said, it was like that baritone. It just came
Sound like me almost.
sound like Cyborg, man. I'm telling you, she caught that Cyborg reaction from people.
But my thing is, like I told you, man, over the text messages, because I'm going to keep it real. I don't think no woman walking the earth could beat Clarissa Shields. It's going to take a man to get in there and manhandle her. I don't think no woman can beat her. Do you think that girl, or whatever she is,
I mean,
sorry
I gotta say
if
she's
that's
a
what
woman.
it is.
I gotta
but
say she's a woman because I mean every woman gets a darn pregnancy test done for a fight. So I'm assuming
Okay.
I have to go with you, a woman.
Okay.
When I
Right,
met
right,
you,
right.
you look like a woman with a baby on your lap. So I know you. I know you're a woman.
Right.
I just know what happened there.
When I seen you later, you had a comb over, and you
And,
sound
you
like you
know,
could sing
and-
bass for the new edition.
I'm cool with the whole supplements, but that's not creatine and protein powders. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, but I'm just saying. But to your question, can she beat Clarissa? I think she'll give no.
No.
she can't.
No.
No,
Clarissa's the GOAT. Like she said, greatest woman of all time.
Yeah, you can keep that title though. I mean, that's a great title to have when it's like
I don't see
self-given.
nobody beating her though. Maybe Ann Wolf,
No, I
if
get
she
it.
could go back a little bit
Yeah,
and
no,
rekindle.
I hear you. And I mean, you can only fight who's at your at your time now.
Right.
You know, you can't go back and say, okay, well, how was she done against Layla Ali? How was she done against Ann Wolf? Because those were probably two of the best we've ever
Yeah.
seen.
I personally think she would have beat Layla.
How about Wolf?
I'm just saying. I don't know. That'd be a great fight. I pay to see it. They get my $75 on pay-per-view.
And
They
Wolf?
get my
Wolf is no
75.
joke.
Listen, me and Clarissa is from the same state.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm always
He ride with
support
anybody
her.
from Michigan.
Anybody
Yeah.
from
It
Michigan,
could
I
be a
ride with.
midget,
it.
weigh 300 pounds.
But-
he gonna ride
But
with him.
on this occasion, I may have to go with Ann Wolf on that.
Ann Wolf was nothing to play with.
She
man.
did sleep
I
that
may have
tall
to
white
go
girl
with
that
Ann
one
Wolf.
Oh,
time.
that Von
But-
does it?
Oh man,
But
she
in Clarissa defense, I'm just glad they're in two different eras.
I agree with that.
I'm not.
I
I wish
am.
they'd fight each other. We can settle this right now.
Because I want Clarissa to be the greatest woman ever.
The GWOAT.
The GWOAT, or whatever you want to say.
It's just-
Yeah, because she's from
GWOT.
where?
Michigan.
There it is.
Here we go.
There's a lot of good fighters come from Michigan, man. Name them, man. Why you want the Michigan
No,
spotlight?
I'm
Come
just
on,
gonna-
man.
I'm just gonna name
'em,
two.
man.
Floyd.
Floyd,
Keep going.
Clarissa, the two greatest.
Keep going. Tommy
The
Hearns.
two greatest. that-
Tommy
Durrell
Hearns
brothers?
Yeah, Hearns. Yeah,
Durrell
no,
brothers?
I'll let you name them.
was
think that's
Emmanuel Stewart. Was he from there? Or he was just trained. Crunk Jim was in Michigan.
Crunk Jim. That's,
Okay, but
that's
he
in
wasn't
Detroit.
from it.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Who else?
I think that's it, man. I really
Nah,
think that's
wasn't
it.
Harrison from there?
Like I said, I think that's it.
No,
That's-
Harrison was
Harrison
from
wasn't
Detroit.
winning that fight till he got dropped.
Harrison was from Detroit.
Winning the
He's in
fight?
Detroit.
Yeah. You didn't have him winning that fight?
Yeah, I had him. Okay, if we're gonna go backwards, yeah, I had him winning until he got punched. Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Things
If
are
it went to the cards.
Went to the cards. Yeah, I would say Harrison did the best.
Okay.
I think Harrison did better that second fight than the first one because I thought
Yeah.
Charlo clearly won the first fight. And like I'm not a Charlo fan by no means, but I just thought he won.
Who he sound like though? We never talked.
Y'all never met. So what y'all want? Y'all want to go to Starbucks now? So y'all
I'm
can
just saying.
have y'all
I'm just-
little-
Get that
okay.
dragon fruit.
Right. Get
I'm
that
just
dragon
saying.
fruit. T. What
Hey,
about me next
hey,
week?
when you're accurate. That's all. I'm saying.
When you're accurate, you're accurate.
That's
huh?
all I'm saying.
Hey,
You
man.
look, I lost one battle. I gave you that. I ain't gonna give you all of them now.
Hey man, well look, man, well like minds think alike in boxing, man. When you know the sport of boxing, it's kind of it ain't hard to really dive into it and dissect it. When you know the sport, you know the sport. Whether you a pure fan or a pure businessman and fan of the sport, it ain't too many different ways you could dissect it. Either you can fight or you can't. Either you got robbed or you didn't. Either you deserve your money or you don't.
And that
Right,
robbery,
right.
man, people use that just too loosely nowadays. You know,
They
and-
do,
you know,
man.
he got
Speak on
robbed.
that
He
robbery,
got- he
man.
got
Speak
robbed.
on
I
the
think what
robbery,
people look
man.
at- okay, for all you novice fans, there's a big difference between getting robbed and a close fight. I'll
Yeah.
give you an example.
Bad dude Jack.
Robbed.
Thank you.
When I'm sorry.
The homie got robbed
Sorry.
straight up.
Yeah.
When Holyfield fought Lennox Lewis the first time, robbery. When my opinion, when Pacquiao fought Bradley the first time, robbery.
Robbery.
No, but there are.
I
You
kinda
better stop.
disagree.
Stop.
I kind of disagree.
Of course you're gonna
I
disagree.
was at the fight. I mean, I think some of them
which is the
judges.
reason why you probably don't didn't judge accurately if you
Okay.
at the fight.
Okay.
I
I give you a
mean-
better
I
one.
mean-
Pacquiao and Horn.
Oh yeah.
broad daylight with a pistol.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But I'm gonna speak from the business side though. I personally think you can say what you want, Bob. I still think you're one of the best promoters in the sport. But I personally think Bob did that on purpose because he knew Pacquiao was about to leave and go with Heyman. He had to let some cash cow get rich up off of that. I'm gonna keep it 100. How
But it's-
else can you take it from that man?
That still was a robbery.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He robbed that boy.
Yeah, he robbed him.
Because he knew he was about to leave and go over there with Heyman. So he's like, you know what? If you're going to leave,
know how
boy,
they feel
I'm
about
putting the
each
L
other.
on your record. If you leaving me. You want to leave me?
No,
Then leave me.
Hold on. Since we on that, now I know you're a little more in the trenches, so you might can't really answer straight
Try
out.
me.
On the Main Event Podcast,
Right.
baby. Like and
Now,
subscribe.
these promoters, man, what is the problem with them crossing that line to make an agreement with another promoter to get the best fight done?
Man, I'm telling you, I think pride is a big thing of it. A lot of guys don't want to give up that advantage. And it's unfortunate because if you look at so many great fights that aren't being made because of this. Especially the fight that I want to see the most is Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua. Not
Yes.
because I think it's going to be a great fight. I think Deontay kills him like once he hits him. But just what's at stake?
Right.
You got the chance to have an undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, which we haven't had in years.
Years.
Yeah.
So a lot of these guys, they want their fight to have the advantage, and I get it. But a lot of time, that pride, man, just gets in the way. That's why I love working with other promoters, man. I do. I really do, because you can see how they operate. They see how you operate. Before you know, you got an alliance.
Yeah.
Just got built.
Right.
Because
right.
in this sport, there's only like the top two companies. You're talking about PBC and Top Rank, man. They got the biggest names, the
Yeah.
biggest networks. Everybody else, we're just kind of,
Right.
you either got to work together or you're just fighting your own battle here.
Yeah.
So to be honest, man, I really think it's just the ego thing. Like the guys,
We said that.
Bob Behrman was 80 some odd years old, man. You ain't gonna tell Bob what to do.
Nah.
You ain't
Right,
gonna give Bob
right.
You
stipulations.
definitely not telling Bob.
And you ain't gonna tell Al Heyman what to do.
You definitely
Nope.
not.
You know what I mean? So you got two guys who are finally working together,
Yeah.
which is something I haven't seen in I think
Yeah.
since this whole PBC came about.
Right, because they working together for the rematch
For
of Wilder and
Fury.
Fury.
So-
Because
so-
at first Fury, they signed Tyson Fury after
That's
that
right.
Wilder fight.
Yeah, that's right.
Who was Fury with? I don't even remember, but he wasn't
Out there
with
in the
Top
UK,
Rank.
I think he was with a company in the UK, which now is kind of like a joint venture. They're working with Top Rank, so I just think these guys don't want to give that power up,
Yeah,
man.
they need to continue to work because we need to see the Terrence Crawford
Against
fight
Earl
with
Spence or Sean Porter
but
against
that we
Terrence
got to see
Crawford.
now.
Mhm.
We don't want to
Yeah.
wait like they did for Manny and Floyd.
So,
You know what I mean?
so you don't think Spence need at least one fight after the accident to get? You think he's ready just to go now?
Like when I say now, I mean like within this year. I want to see it in 2020.
I agree.
You know, I believe. You know, I mean, God, he's so fortunate what happened to him.
Yeah.
To have that accident to come out pretty much unscathed like he did. I think he needs to have a fight or two just to get back in a little bit, and then tackle Terrence.
I mean, I don't. I put him in there maybe.
Well, like I said, I mean,
If he ain't break nothing and he can see
But they say
a heart
that.
beating 2 feet, baby.
That's
Ain't
true.
that what you said?
2 feet
Put him
heartbeat.
right back in there, baby. I mean,
Right.
that's just me personally because he didn't break nothing. He didn't fracture nothing. He didn't, it didn't look
that
like.
we know of. You know what I mean?
True,
That we know
true,
of. My thing
true,
is,
true.
I mean, I've done this stub my toe, walking. This guy went through a car accident, flipped over, ejected, 100 plus miles an hour. You come out with broken teeth
Yeah.
and a skin face,
Yeah.
You don't even know what mentally
There you go.
that will do to a person.
right?
An accident, it's more than just breaking your bones. I mean, the fact that you was at a near-death experience
Right.
could affect the way you see life.
And the fact that he had nothing in that accident, like he just tumbled and he didn't have no structure, nothing.
He just
I mean-
got up and was like, take me to the hospital, make sure I'm cool.
Man,
I mean, did you see his interview? Did you watch the interview the first
you know
time
what?
he spoke?
I caught hell on that one too.
Did you?
I caught hell. I tell people, man, he sounded like he was like slurring some speech.
He did.
And someone said, "Oh no, it's the teeth." I go, "Okay, the teeth.
No.
The new teeth make you might say some words wrong, give you a little list." But when he was like, I could have sworn like he was under the influence of something, or if he was, I mean, he looked like he was out of it in a sense.
Yeah. But the one thing though about that interview, I felt is the one that was interviewing him just kept asking the same
Yeah.
questions.
He was
Yeah.
egging him on.
He was.
Like he
I
wanted
think
him
that
to
was
look bad.
unnecessary.
Yeah,
If he said he coming back,
That's
he
it.
coming back. You ain't got when you think that
is it
spring
May?
or that
Is it
May. Come on, man. Really?
He
Yeah.
answered your question. He
coming
said, "I'll be
Come
back this
year.
summer."
That's all you need to know.
That's it.
Nah,
And we look forward to see him coming back, getting in that ring, and moving forward.
How you think? I don't like Danny Garcia fighting Reddick. I don't like that.
no.
Danny knocks him out. I don't
just
think
think-
he need that tune up
no, I think Reddick is there for him just to be exactly
just
what
to knock out.
Yeah, just
kind of like what's that one dude he fought? Man, I don't even remember. We knocked it. Rod something.
Rod Salka.
Yeah,
man.
That's
You got
kind
no-
of like
you
that
got no
fight
business
right
in
there.
No business with
I
that.
think Danny need any fight he can get.
Nah, Danny's still there. Danny's still there.
Yeah,
Ain't nobody
but-
just came through and just put hands
but
on
I-
Danny like that. He's
but-
seasoned.
But out of the top names in that division, he's been the less active.
Oh, that's true, but you got to look at that division as deep though. I mean,
You
even the
know-
guys who don't have belts could be world champions at any time.
But what I'm saying is like a Porter. Even though he lost, he won. He gained more people. You got Keith Thurman and Pacquiao. People their names are ringing because of the fights that they're having and the
you're
type
right.
of fights. But Danny's been on the sideline.
Yeah,
No one's talking about
Danny's
his
been
fight.
at the fights. That's
You
all
know,
he's been. He's
right.
the guy front row
Right.
at the fights.
So at this point, he need anything he can get
No.
to get his name back buzzing again. So when he do step up to fight
who though?
any one of those people that's in the top,
Where would
you
he?
got.
Like if you were to put him in now, where would he fit into that deep 147?
I don't think he beats
I don't
nobody
think
there.
he
can't
beats
see-
nobody
no.
up there. But I'm saying, but he's still at the point where he deserved to at least be looked at. You know what I mean?
I agree. But like I said, 147 is so deep. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Danny against Pacquiao. To be honest with you, because they're about the same size type of guys.
Yeah.
Danny's not a big dude.
I see Pacquiao beating Danny. Only because to me personally, Danny Garcia, he's a flat-footed fighter. He really got to be set to get off.
Yeah.
He can't really box on his toes and move around like Pacquiao
no,
do.
you're right.
He got to be too set to get his shots
It'll
off.
be
so
fun
I
to
don't-
watch though. Those are the kind of fights.
Name against a name.
It'd be fun to watch.
I would like to see Keith Thurman and Porter fight again.
That'd be another good one.
That was a
I
good
would like
fight.
to see that.
That
Now
was a good
that
fight.
Porter have emerged, I think that would be a great fight, and that'd be a loss that he can avenge.
I agree.
Man, but before we get out of here, man, God, tell these people where they can find you, man. Facebook, Instagram for the up-and-coming fighters who looking for a shot, man. Tell them where to find you.
You can find me on Facebook under Guy Taylor. That's GUI, easy to spell and hard to forget. Go to Instagram, which I'm kind of not really on that much, but I'm getting back into it. GT Boxing. feel free to shoot me a message, man. I answer everybody, so feel free to shoot. Just don't do like what T does, like at midnight or midnight 30. You know, obviously, if you're on the East Coast, no, I'm on Pacific time, so don't be doing that stuff either, because it makes it a little weird when your phone goes up at 6 in the morning.
Hey, but when you like me, man, you hustling. You gotta make it happen. You gotta make a deal happen the best way possible.
I only answer for you, man. Trust me.
Making them calls at a time, your wife be like, "Who was that calling you?"
I'm like, "What you mean?"
Hey, man, we gotta do what we gotta do, man. But here at the Main Event Podcast, man, we appreciate y'all tuning in and listening one more time. Thank you to shout out 702.5 FM for having us. The Main Event Podcast. Make sure you like and subscribe on YouTube. I'm Tawan Butler. This is Guy Taylor. That's Mike Risper. We here every week, baby. Always gonna bring you the real. Until next time, see ya.